How's it going, YouTube? So I did a video a while ago on a nx250 that I had, but I sold that. But that was probably one of my most popular videos by a long shot. And I've just got this a few days ago. It's an nx250. I think it's the same year, 1991. But I've just been on a 3-4 hour ride on it, on and off-road and trail riding, even though it's got road tires on it. But I thought I'd just do a review on it. Yeah, we'll start with, sorry about the wind, it's bloody windy today. You can see there's a bit of dirt up in here. But yeah, we'll start with what it runs like. In the morning it needs a bit of choke, but after that it starts up first pop every time. It's electric start, no Kickstarter. It's a very light bike. It's actually quite small. See, I'm about 6'2", and it's below my waist there. Power wise, oh sorry about the wind. Power wise, it's got a lot of power for a 250, more than a usual XR air cooled motor. This is a water cooled motor, so you've got the radiator there. It goes really well and doesn't have a lot of torque, but for trail riding it does do quite well in first gear on those low revs. We went through a pine forest on some not really motorbike tracks, so just kind of bashing through the forest, but yeah, it did that pretty well. And on the road it cruises at 5,000 revs pretty nicely, and it really has a nice snap to it from 6,000 to 9,000 revs. It's got a real kind of race dirt bike feel to it. It really wants to lift the front wheel up and really snaps you forward. It's quite fun on the road, on the twisties, not highway speeds. Going 100 on the highway, it's especially today, you can see the trees bending over, but it's pretty windy, so you get blown around quite a bit. But for slow speed around town, or in my case on these country roads down to the shops and stuff, it does really well. It twists, it goes on the twisty roads really nicely. You can lean it over really easily because it's so light. It's got good tires on it for the road. Yeah, it's decently comfortable. The seat's not too bad. After 3 hours it was a bit sore, but it's not really a long distance motorcycle. This is all road legal for New Zealand on the roads. Off-road, the front suspension's a little bit soft for my liking off-road, but it does make it better on the road, so you've got to kind of take what we can get there. It did go very well off-road. I did some dirt hill climbs and stuff. You can see there's a lot of dirt stuck everywhere. The back tyres are more road terrain, but it is all terrain. The front tyre is very road terrain, so most of my problems off-road today were the tyres, not the actual bike itself. Because yeah, the front one just keeps slipping out, and we're in some pretty thick clay mud, as you can see. And the other bikes with dirt tyres were getting through it, but I was just slipping everywhere. But with dirt tyres I think it would make it very good, because it did get through and I was able to hop off and push it quite easily. Yeah, it sounds really nice too. Someone's taken the baffle out and it sounds like a CRF 250. Brakes are okay. It's got drums in the rear, not the best. It's got a single disc but twin plunger hydraulic brakes on the front. They work really well. The seating position's quite nice. It's a pretty little bike for a taller person. I wouldn't want to take 2 people on it. It does have passenger pegs, but I wouldn't really take 2 people on it. Yeah, gravel roads does pretty well on. Lots of gravel roads today. And we'll start her up. Starts up first pop. revving up to 10,000 RPM and loving it and still putting out lots of power is quite impressive, I thought. Big dorky mirrors, but they actually work pretty well. I did drop it a few times, nothing broke, even though there's quite a lot of plastic on this old 90s bike. I dropped it on this side, didn't break that at all. I think it fell on the foot pegs mainly, and the bar slider there. Yeah, it didn't break anything, that just dug into the mud. Didn't break the front ones, they're not the originals though. But yeah, you could turn this into a really cool little adventure bike to zap down to the trails if you put some dirt tyres, knobbly tyres on the front and back. Maybe harden the shocks. And I noticed there is bolt holes under the forks there. It looks like you'd be able to easily bolt on a normal dirt bike fender, the one that comes up here, not this one, and then you could probably pretty easily change the lights and everything. You can make it look like a full dirt bike if you want. But yeah, this thing was quite cheap. I actually got it as part of a swap deal, but he valued it at $2 grand, and I thought that was reasonable, sight unseen. But yeah, after riding it, I think this is a great learner bike, or a great fun bike to go trail riding on, or whatever you want to do on it really. It's got a rack on the back that's very stable, it's very solid, seems to always start up. Yeah, I had a lot of fun on it today, and I would definitely recommend getting one if you are looking at one. It is a Honda, so I don't doubt the reliability whatsoever. It's water cooled, it does have air fins on there, and a oil cooler as well, I believe. No, just an air cooler. Oh sorry, just a water cooler. Yeah, what else? The light's very bright. I did drive it night time. It's done quite high Ks for a 250, little single cylinder motorcycle. This is in miles an hour, not kilometers an hour, so 34,000 miles for a single cylinder 250 is pretty good. It starts right up, it's got heaps of power, heaps of compression, no smoke, doesn't use oil, doesn't use water. Yeah, I'm very impressed with this little bike, and if you're looking for something on a budget, you could probably find one of these for pretty damn cheap. I know I used to have one when I was a kid, kind of bought it to fix it and sell, and I got it for like 200 bucks and sold it for 2,000, just cleaning the carburetor and putting a battery in it basically. But this one's a lot better than that one. That one wasn't road legal or anything like that. But yeah, definitely recommend buying one if you are looking at one. It's a great little trail bike, a lot cheaper than a CRF 250 or an XR 250 that is road legal. XR 250s, they're awesome bikes, but they are overpriced, kind of like a Toyota Hilux. And the CRFs are quite high priced as well, and I doubt a CRF 250 could do 34,000 miles without blowing up because it's a race bike engine. I think this is a really good mix between the XR and the CRF, and I actually believe that because the CRFs didn't come out until the 2000s, I believe, maybe 99, but this is the engine Honda based the CRF 250 engine on. It's very similar if you look at a CRF 250 and this as well. Just looking now, it does have why it's so snappy, the carburetor is a plunger type, so when you twist the throttle it lifts the whole plunger up with the fuel needle as well. It's not, as you see on a lot of these bikes, they have flapper, not actually too sure what they're called, but they have the diaphragm in the top and it opens a valve when you twist the throttle, and then they're smoother but they're not as zappy, so the air flowing through actually lifts the needle and the plunger up, and you control the air with the throttle valve you're opening. I think these carbs are a lot better, they're more reliable, and they seem to be a lot snappier and more powerful than the other ones. The other ones are better for fuel mileage and highway use, but you're not really going to be using that for this, are you? After 3 hours of riding, it used probably about a litre of fuel, maybe a bit more, just regular 91, but that was amazing to me. That was a long ride and it barely used any gas. Yeah, I was very impressed with it. And if anyone has any questions, leave it in the comments and I'll try answer. Please like and subscribe. Thank you.